Sometimes we want to do a little more than just print out a name. So maybe we want to welcome them to the system. So we're going to say, welcome to the system, Wanda. Welcome to the system, Pietro. Well, let's do a little more processing. And maybe we want to capitalize their entire name. So inside of our loop, we want to grab their name. So we'll say let first name equal, and then we'll access the first names array, and we'll access a specific item in the array, and we want to access whichever one we're currently at. And then we want to say first name equals first name dot to uppercase. That'll make their entire name uppercase. So we'll say, let's put a comment, say grab the name, make the name uppercase. And you may have noticed I already made a mistake. Here, I need square braces because I need to say, I'm not trying to, oh, sorry. I want to say take the first name and make it uppercase. So grab the first name, store it in a variable, make it uppercase, store back in itself, and then now we'll just welcome them to the system. So we'll say console.log, welcome to the system, plus, and then we'll concatenate on first name. So we'll save this, and if we go over to our code, we can see it says, welcome to the system, Anna, Mark, Steven, Jake, Johnny, Danny, Robbie, Kamala, or Carol, Jennifer, and Norin. And so it looks like it successfully welcomed them to the system. But this can be kind of annoying to reference items in the array by saying go to the array and then use square braces, whoops, and then do the counter. And because we do this so often, we loop through arrays so often, we've actually made a much easier way to do it. And so I'm going to show you that easier way. You can say for, and then you create a new variable name. We'll say let name of, and then what are you looping through? First names. And then you can console.log, welcome to the system plus name dot to uppercase. So what this does is it says go find the array, then take an item out of the array and store it in name. Once you've done that, log it. Then go back in, grab the next name in the array, store it in array. Once you've done it, log it. This loop is doing the exact same thing as the loop above. The loop above, I said, create a variable called first name, take an item out of the loop, and store it. But rather than writing out the really long syntax and figuring out the length of the array and writing the incrementer and all of that, which takes longer to type, and then going into the array and grabbing something at whatever the incrementer is at, or a counter variable, rather than doing all of that, they just said, how about you just make a variable, pull something out of the list, and put it in that variable? Well, let's just go see this in action so you can see that they work very, very similarly. So we'll come over to Safari, and we're going to come here to the Sources tab, and we're going to put a breakpoint on line 47. Oh, and I may need to reload this. One moment. Cancel, reload the page. And it looks like my for of loop has not shown up. Did I save my code? I did not save my code. Oh boy. Okay, save the code, then go over, and then now you can see the for loop is here. So there's the for loop, and then below it, we call this a for of loop. So right now, we're on line 47. We're about to start the variable. So we grab our counter. Our counter is 0. We run it for the full length of first names dot length, which is 32. We hit next, and then it says first name equals first names at the counter position. So if we hit next and we hover over first name is Peter. So now we're going to make first name uppercase. Now first name is uppercase Peter, and now we're going to log it to the console. If we come over here to the console, it says welcome to the system, Peter. Then we run it again, and we're about to increment the counter. So if we increment the counter, Now counter is 1, and 1 is still less than the length of 32. Um, so we're going to hit next. We'll drop in here and we'll grab first name. First name is now Tony. And that's because we went into the first names array, we went to the 1 position, and we grabbed Tony. And then we stored in a variable called first name. Then we uppercase that, so now we get uppercase Tony, and then we print welcome to the system. So if we come over here, we get welcome to the system Peter, welcome to the system Tony. And then we increment. And for good measure, I'm going to do this one more time. So we increment the counter. Counter is at 2. First names has a length of 32. So this loop is going to run again. So we hit next. We go to first names at the 2 position, which is Steve. And if we hit next, now first name is holding Steve. And then we uppercase it, and then we print it. Now if we come to the console, it says welcome to the system, Steve. So hopefully you've got a good idea of how the for loop works. Now we're going to put a breakpoint on the for of loop. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to hit continue, and it's going to have printed out all the rest of the names. And then we'll come over here. So it says let name of first name. So it comes to first names. Notice 0 is storing Peter. If we hit next, it's about to assign the first value in first names to name. If we hit next and we hover over name, now we can see that the name is Peter. So now we're going to print welcome to the system, Peter.to uppercase. If we hit next and we come to our console, oh, sorry, we uppercased it. We hit next, we come to our console, and all the way down it says welcome to the system, Peter. And we come back over to our sources. Now it's hovering over first name. Right now, name is still storing Peter. But as soon as this line runs, it's going to grab the next name out of the list and put it into name. So if we hit next, now if we hover over name, name is storing the text Tony. And if we hit next and then log it, we come to the console, now we can see welcome to the system, Tony. And now if we look at first names, the very next name in the list is Steve. So we should expect that if we run this loop another time, it's going to take Steve out and store it in name. So if we hit next, now if we hover over name, now it's Steve. So you can see that these loops are doing the exact same thing, but this loop down here on line 55 uses much less code to do the exact same thing as the loop that runs from line 47 to 53. And if that is something that you appreciate, then for of loops might be for you. Depending on the developer, lots of developers live by for of loops and other developers don't like them at all. I like for of loops, but I will let you make that decision. I just want you to be aware that there are 2 ways to loop through arrays. There are actually a lot of ways to loop through arrays, but 2 of them are you can use the for loop where you write out the full counter and you write it out for the dot length and you use the counter plus plus, or you can use the for of loop where you just say for let variable name of your array, and then it just pulls each item out of the array one at a time. And that concludes this section on for of loops. Thanks for watching.